Hey, what's up guys? Corporate Code here bringing you a video on how to do the Theme Diamond Master Set. First, let me say that I'm a hypocrite because in an earlier video I said that there was no way I was going to do this, wasn't going to waste my time or effort on it. And then a friend said he didn't think that I could even do it if it wasn't even possible and basically dared me to do it. So I don't back down from a challenge. But I had done the Ravens because I wanted to get McAllister. And I had a few Bills, Golds, and some Chargers Elite players already. And I had the Chargers powered up. So I powered down the Charger players and got to working and adding and buying the remaining cards from the auction house. I knew that, it was going to be a long journey, but went ahead and sort of banged out those sets. But I also knew I was going to need a bank, a coin bank, essentially. So the first thing I did was I auctioned off my Marcus Allen Full Legend. And I think I started this journey with about 200,000 plus coins, at the ready, available to do this. So I knew I needed the coins to just get them. But this is something that literally anybody can do as long as you have a little bit of coins to get started. I would recommend maybe somewhere between 200,000 and 300,000 would be good. But you can see I'm showing you below here how many coins each player cost as far as the set goes. So how many coins I spent to complete each set. And then in addition to that, I'm also showing you what I was able to sell in the auction house, the power-up player and the Theme Diamond card for. And then I can show you, you're seeing there, if I was able to, make a profit, a coin profit on these, or in, many cases a loss. But I did keep track of everything, and that's the purpose of this video, is for me to be able to show you what sets are working and what sets are not, as far as being able to make coins with these sets. So I'll show you all that information at the end. I'll share with you if I was actually able to make a profit on this or if I took a loss. Either way, Kurt Warner right now is going for a lot of coins, so 600 to 700K at least at the minimum. But I'll show you which sets are the best to do and why, and how to utilize any NAT players, non-auctionable players that you may have in your item binder that you're not using anyway. You can unload those pointless cards and go from there. But the market sort of crashed, and Kurt Warner is still the best player in the game right now, unless you've went ahead and were able to upgrade that Master Pat Tillman. But other than that, let's get started and go a little deeper into this, okay, guys? So going ahead and looking at the Buccaneers here, the set's not very expensive, but the issue is that it's an 87 overall wide receiver. So in general, these lower receivers, there's a Casper that's the Raiders coming up next here. There's, he's a tight end, but any 86, 87 player, you're not going to get a good return. It's just obvious. That's just the way it's going to go. That's the frustrating thing, because some of these sets are a little cheaper to do. This set's would cost me 95,000 coins, yet, you can't even recoup that full amount. So, it becomes frustrating. The Colts here, who doesn't love a little Dwight Freeney in their lives? Andrew Luck and T.Y. Hilton went for a combined total of around 70,000 K. So that being said, there's really not a ton of wiggle room in this particular set either, but somehow we did go ahead and make a profit. I was surprised that only 130K, was made on Freeney there for the diamond. I will say that all these auctions are after the 10% has come out, so those coins are already out and deducted that 10% auction fee. So this is, just what you to take home on this. But this 49ers, the Merton Hank set, is one I would really recommend doing. I think, he's I think he's the best free safety in the game right now. And it's definitely a card a lot of people want. So, if you can utilize a non-auctionable player, that's an elite that you might have on the Niners, I would recommend it. I think I got the Sherman for 87K. Yeah, 87,600 is what I got the Sherman for. And that's the Richard Sherman 2 sets ago here for the Niners. I'm still rambling about them. This Docket set really somehow, I mean, it surprised me. I mean, some of these sets, the power-ups are so overvalued. I mean, I don't know why, Dockett's power-up sold for, 40K when, some of these other guys, they're under 10,000. So that's really weird as well. I mean, it just depends on the card and, who people want. But I'm just going to feed you the information here as you can see it on your screen. Jason Sehorn, that'd be really cool to have. But, I mean, at 86 overall, I mean, do you really want or need him? You know what I mean? So these are the things. These are the things to think about. I'll reveal to you the top few sets that I think can make coins no matter what. As you see in this Ram set, 70,000 coin loss. I mean, this is for a Timmerman card, a right guard, one of the best in the game right now. And, it's strange that I lost so much on this one, but, the Chiefs set, I was able to make a giant profit. And that's an 89 guard as well with Waters. So, these are the things. But going back to that Chiefs set, keep in mind I had the non-auctionable Patrick Mahomes, who goes for over 100K. So, I mean, by having those non-auctionable cards and, if you're not going to use them, it's a great way to turn that into coins because you can add them to this set and go ahead and end up making a profit or, end up completing the set and getting the card and auctioning it and turning a card that was just going to sit in your binder for eternity unless you could quick sell them for training. You can turn that into coins and go ahead and do something with that. So I really like that aspect of doing sets, when you do happen to have a big time non-auctionable card that you want to go ahead and use. This Texans set is just ridiculous. I mean, the J.J. Watt I bought for $84,600. The Clowney went for $69,100. It's just not a good set to do. No one wants David Carr. It's just the way it is. But this Lions set was bomb, and part of that was because I had, and I didn't put it on here, this is one of the only sets that I used a non-auctionable card for, I had the Harrison Sr. So, I mean, that did save about, 70, 80K probably, but, I mean, still would have been a big profit. Everyone wants that Schlesinger. So the Lions set, that's a great set to look at doing. The Seahawks, I mean, it's a cheap set to do, fairly cheap, $118,000. But I mean, again, nobody wants Tutupu. I mean, unfortunately, Tutupu is a great player, but any card that's 87 overall or lower, no one really wants it. It's just the way it is. So, moving on here, the Eagles, John Runyon. I think this is a great card. I tried to gear some of my picks towards, I wanted to try to see if I could hang on to maybe the last three of these, sets I did, so I could hang on to the players. Runyon was a guy I wanted to do, but I had to sort of gauge the auction house and the number of coins I had and, the ability to go ahead and continue completing the sets. So I had to go ahead and do Runyon because I knew it was going to be a profitable set. And it kept me going here. You can see here the Falcons. Jesse Tuggle's a guy that I wanted to play with. He's actually the only one that I did stop this for and go into a game and use him a little bit just to check him out. But frankly, he wasn't the best. He's not Patrick Willis, and he wasn't C.J. Mosley, who I absolutely love, is only an 87 overall player. So I just think those guys are better in this particular game somehow. I don't know. But moving on to the Broncos, the kicker, Von Miller. I got him for 121,000 coins, which is actually a pretty good deal. I thought a lot of people would be wanting this Elam, as he's the clear-cut best kicker in the game right now. But he sold for under 200K, and after the 10% comes out, that's how it goes. So the Dallas Cowboys, the Mel Renfro set is one I would highly recommend. I think a lot of people want this particular card. There's not that many corners in the game right now. They're 89 overall, especially if you can power them up to a 90. I know there's the Mel Blount, and now there's the Mel Renfro. And if you have Ty Law as your captain, you could power him up as well. those might be the only 3 corners in the game right now that are 89s. And if I'm mistaken, I'm sorry, somebody can correct me, but I'll check into that later. But that's why that card is so valuable. That's why that set is so great. If you're going to do the Wayne Corbett set, you might as well throw yourself off a cliff because it's not going to go well. Same thing with the Randall L. Same thing with, you know, the Andre Reed. That's just how it is. You know, what are you going to do? But it's all very exciting stuff. The Patriots, Stephon Gilmore, 77K I got him for. The problem with the Patriots and some of these other sets are, you know, yeah, it's a good card, 89. You think it's going to go for a lot. It doesn't end up auctioning for nearly as much as you think. And in the meantime, you have to keep in mind there's, you know, 8 Patriots that are the elite cards. And, you know, they go for at least 10K. You know, half of them go for, you know, at least 15. So, you know, that's frustrating. The Matt Burke here, you know, this is a set that I thought was going to be really good, and we did make a pretty good profit off it. You know, Matt Burke, best center in the game, one of them, and you know, it's just good. But the issue here again is that there's 8 cards over 10K. For this set, Harrison Smith cost me 70K. Thielen cost me 44K. So that one's a little bit of a risk, depending on the market and what you're able to gauge. The Panthers, you know, gross, sick player. Card I definitely would have liked. Luke Kuechly was going for well over 100K at one point. I was able to get him during these transactions for 89,000 and change. There's also McCaffrey, who I got for 31,000, and then 3 other elites mixed in there. So the Panthers one's a little sketchy as well. The New Orleans Saints, I mean, I would think everyone would want to do some McAllister, 89 overall. But again, you know, with Bo Jackson and Marcus Allen and, you know, some of these other backs, it's too flooded, and you're not going to make a great profit with McAllister. And not to mention the Michael Thomas is ridiculous. So that being said, here we are getting into the final cards here. The Cleveland Browns. Odell Beckham Jr. was over 100K for a long time. I went ahead and I sniped him for 82,600. I was waiting on that, but in another set with 8 cards over 10K because they're elites. You know, the Jags. I really wanted to do this one last to hang out with that John Henderson. He was like the one guy I really wanted besides McAllister. And, you know, we almost broke even on it, but, you know, not too bad overall. But, you know, you can see, I mean, if you had some of those Jags non-auctionable, you're able to throw them in. That would be a really good set to do as well, even though, you know, I personally lost money on it. Here we go. We're coming into the Steelers, the last set. You can see me scrolling through. And, you know, again, I mean, the 88 wide receiver, you know, better than the theme builders, but, you know, still only 115K after that 10% tax. So this is the last card going in here. It was a James Washington, who ironically I took as my last player on my fantasy team recently. Mr. Irrelevant. Not today as we get to Kurt Warner. But so yeah, so this is the Randall L's last one. We'll go ahead and add that token. Show you the Kurt Warner. Give you these final numbers, guys. But all in all, so some of the cards that you should target, I think Mel Renfro, the Cowboys, Matt Burke of the Vikings, the Lions with Schlesinger. That's a card everyone seems to want. You know, he's a beast at hitting. It sticks. So the Merton Hanks is big for the 49ers. And then John Runyon, of course. And Darnell Dockett, for some reason. That was just a really, really good power-up. So, but yeah, so, you know, final numbers, 196,304 coins I lost. But we do have the Kurt Warner, who auctions for over 700K. So I think we'll be all right there. In conclusion, you know, use your non-auctionables, turn them into coins, and only do all these sets, or only do some of the, you know, some of the ones I didn't suggest if you're going to do them all. All right, guys. Thanks a lot for watching my video. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Have a great day and night.